Welcome to Long Arm Wednesday. This is Laura Lynn of the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. Thank you very much for joining us. We're working on a customer quilt today. It's a Noah's Ark themed quilt, very beautiful. It has a ton and ton of embroidery on it. Embroidery. It's each little one's got a little blue square around it with some embroidery on top. It's very pretty. It's got all sorts of little critters and animals and obviously the ark and stuff like that, right? So she didn't want it too complicated, nor did she want it edge to edge. She wanted it to make sure that all the embroidery stood out and none of it was stitched over. So we talked about it. I said, what do you want on it? What's your idea? Waves, just simple, easy waves. So that's what I've done across 3/4 of it so far. I only just have this little bit to go. So I'm just going to show you how I'm finishing it off. It's just all me. This is, I don't have my channel locks on or anything like that. It's just all loosey-goosey, as they say. So there's this last one here. We're going to just frame out first. And she chose Hawaiian blue as the blue thread. And the back is all patched, all sorts of bits of colored fabric. It's got clouds, it's got green, it's got blue, it's got all sorts. Very pretty. Okay, and it's like I said, Hawaiian's in the top and the bottom, and it's 12 stitches per inch. And I'm just going to scoot along the edge of where the colored bits meets the blue. Okay, and then just turn and follow it slow and steady. And then make sure you're stopping right in the corner. Then work your way up. And when you're doing your waves one block to the next, because you want those waves to be continuous between the blocks, you're going to make your start and stop stitches inside this little line that I'm creating right now around the outside border, or the inside border, however you're looking at it. And I've just done this for every single block. She kind of gave me free rein, but it was like just waves and not to be stitched in the embroidery. She spent many, many hours embroidering all this up. All right, now make sure you're locking your stitches. Okay, and because it's here, I can come down just a smidgen more and just do a few waves and so on and so forth, okay? So I think that's what I'll do. I'll just come down here. And go there. Just a simple little wave and off. And this is where you're going to lock. It's going to get cut off anyways, but you know, you still have to lock your stitches. Okay. And you can see I have my ruler plate on. That's to help give me stability when I'm pressing down with my big fingers. Okay, so now I have a few waves. I have at least 2 waves to do in between here and here. Okay, so right on those previous stitch lines, do some little locking. Okay, and then your little waves. And then just come in and lock right on there. Overlap just a smidge. And it'll get lost in all of it. You won't even see where it's stopping or going. We're just going to do it again right down here. Just lock those little stitches. Okay. And my start button. Just go right up, down a little bit, and lock them in. Okay, so that's one side done. Going to finish off a little bit over to the right here. And then we can move on to the bottom, which the bottom I'm just going to go straight along. That's pretty much where I have it angled right now. It's just to show you how I was doing this one square, or how I was doing the squares, and how I was leading from one square to the next. I've got another one. It just actually arrived earlier this week, and I'm very excited to quilt it up for one of the founding members of one of my quilt guilds. So I'm very proud to be doing this for her and for her son, actually. It's for her son. So it's one of my very first flannel. It's all flannel, back, front, everywhere. It's all flannel. Okay, so we'll do another one right about here. And I tried to keep the rows even with the waves, so it wasn't, you know, going on like a side diagonal or anything like that. It was trying to go with the flow, some a little high, some a little low, but that's just the way waves are. So I wasn't trying to go too crazy. And then make sure you trim up all your little bits and bobs. Okay. Save those threads for the birdies. Okay, and I don't need this anymore, so I'm just going to move that off to the side, and then I'm just going to finish the waves along the bottom, okay? So work from left to right. Kind of keep it within this range here. And come peek up, just that sort of thing, okay? It went really smooth as I was going the first part, so it was encouraging to keep it going. I know he kind of growls sometimes, but there we go. And moving slowly with your machine, not any jagged movements, or you're going to end up with little weird stitches or coloring outside the line, as they say. There we go. Okay, that's one. Got two more to do, and then this quilt is done. Okay. And I was doing my waves, and actually I got my little practice piece where I always check my tension. I always take a little strip of fabric, and I border it out like I was like a little tiny quilt, and I practice what I'm going to do on the quilt for my tensions, make sure it's all correct, back and front, so it's a good place to check is right on the edge. So, and I tried to do the waves the other way around, and they were looking okay, but I just thought, you know what, I'm more of a left to right kind of person, so I'll just work them that way. I don't want, I'll go wild and crazy on my own quilts, not on my customer quilts. I just want to make it as perfect for them as possible. We appreciate you liking and subscribing and telling all your friends. We've grown so much. It's quite overwhelming. I thought I'd only ever get about 40 followers, and that was all family members and possibly bribed with cookies and quilts. So I'm very tickled to be very close to 600 at this point. So, and I'm glad that people are finding me helpful and sometimes a little silly, but that's just me. It's who I am. Bit of a goof nut. All right, one more to go. And we are done. Miss Pat's Noah's Ark quilt. Pat is a repeat customer. She's been to me, this I think is her third or fourth time. So I clearly am doing something right. And this one is just so colorful too. It's got such a pop of color just everywhere. It's got purples, and actually we were discussing it, and we discovered there was no green. There was actually no green in this quilt. There we go. I was trying to think of maybe I should sneak in a small one under here. Maybe. I think we will. Just a small one. Maybe even just the tips of the wave. I just like to be a little bit more closer to the edge because, you know, edge to edge means edge to edge. So let's do right at the bottom here. lock some of those stitches. Just do a little tiny little section of waves at the very bottom. There we go, that looks better. Super cute. I love this blue. It has such different colors, and it really does look like water. It mimics water. So I believe it was part of a kit. She may have added a bit of extra fabric to bulk it out a bit. I'm not entirely sure, but it's super cute. She did. I meant the colors for part of a kit. There we go. And done. Perfect. Okay, we'll take some pins out and you can see the rest of it. It's a good size. I think it's 56 by 64. Perfect size for a munchkin bed. Okay, a couple of these little trimmy-doos here. Take these off. Goes into my ever-growing bed. Okay, we'll flip this up here. Okay, and just enough extra batting or backing. Oops. I tried to unroll on the cat. Oops, come here. I'm like fighting with the pins. Oops. Don't miss that one. Sometimes if you don't throw it close enough, the magnet won't pick it up, so. Just gotta work it. I did a Noah's Ark quilt probably about 2 or 3 years ago. It was all hand stitched and stuff like that, but it was actually a quilt panel that read like the book. It was really quite cute, and my customer really liked it too. So just flip this up here. Don't want to unroll it. Nope, there we go. Sometimes you need like 5 arms. Okay, we'll unlock the top and I will show you what this beautiful, what's up, Clive? This beautiful quilt looks like. There. Now I'll move the big camera head, the little camera head out of the way. And then the big one can get in a big zoom in on it. Isn't it cute? She did such a beautiful job. I just love it. And I'm hoping that she likes the way it all turned out with the waves and stuff like that. So hopefully you can see all the waves. It really pops out on that orange and the yellow and stuff like that. Super cool. I'm just going to finish it up. I think that's about it. And that's it. We're done. So thanks very much for joining me for Long Arm Wednesday. And I'm just going to unpin it and take it off and trim it all up. And we'll see you next time. So thanks everybody for watching and subscribing. And don't forget to check out Weekend Project. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.